My wife cheated on me with her boss and then forged my signature to steal $250, $0 of our inheritance, claiming it was for us, only for her to secretly buy a house with her affair partner. Now she's suing me for custody and trying to kick me out of our home. I never thought I'd find myself in a situation like this, honestly. It's like something out of a bad soap opera, one of those moments where everything you believed about your life crumbles in an instant. The thing is, I had no idea just how deep the betrayal went until I stumbled onto it completely by accident. And let me tell you, the shock hit me like a freight train. My wife had always been the kind of woman who seemed perfect on the surface. Beautiful, ambitious, a little bitchy sometimes, but I loved her. We'd been married for 8 years and I thought we had a good life. We had a nice house, decent jobs, mine as an accountant, hers as a marketing exec, and a kid we adored. I always figured we were solid, nothing could shake us. But about 3 months ago, I started noticing little things that didn't add up. Was more secretive with her phone, hiding her screen when I came into the room, and she was working late more often than usual. At first, I thought maybe she was just stressed at work or trying to get a promotion. But then I found her phone one night when she was out of town for a conference. By accident, really. I wasn't snooping, just trying to grab my charger in her purse, and I saw a message thread that made my stomach drop. It was her boss, Mark. They'd been texting back and forth constantly, late at night during weekends. The conversations weren't just about work. There were flirtatious messages, plans to meet up, even pictures of her in bed with him. I saw the way she called him baby in some texts. I couldn't believe it. My wife cheating on me with her boss. And the worst part, I could tell it had been going on for months. She lied about everything, said she was working late, that she was tired, that I was just paranoid. But the evidence was right there. I felt sick. My mind was racing, trying to process how I could have missed all the signs. I confronted her that night. I told her I knew about Mark, about the affair. Her face twisted into something bitter and defensive. She laughed, a cold, sharp laugh. "You're overreacting, James. It's just sex. It doesn't mean anything. You're just insecure." That's what she said. She kept denying it, claiming I was imagining things. But I had proof, screenshots, texts, and a gut feeling that I couldn't shake. The confrontation turned into a shouting match. She accused me of being jealous, of not trusting her, of trying to control her. She said she was just having a little fun, that Mark was just a fling and I should mind my own business. But I knew better. I knew she was lying. I also discovered that she'd been secretly withdrawing money from our joint account, money we'd inherited from my parents. It was a lot, about $250, $0, taken without my knowledge. She claimed she was using it for us, but I caught her red-handed forging my signature on a withdrawal slip. That's when I realized she'd been planning something bigger. The thing is, I was crushed, but I was also furious. How could she do this? How could she betray everything we had? I felt betrayed, humiliated, and helpless all at once. I didn't even know where to start. I felt like my entire world was collapsing around me, and I couldn't stop thinking about how she'd spent all that money, probably on Mark and a new house she bought behind my back. That was just the beginning. I couldn't believe she'd stoop so low, not just cheating but stealing from us. I'd been a fool to trust her blindly, but now I knew I had to do something. I had to fight back, find out the full extent of her lies, and figure out what the hell I was supposed to do next. I realized I was in a war, not just for my marriage, but for my very life as I knew it. After that night, everything changed. I couldn't sleep. My mind kept circling around the betrayal, her lies, the stolen money, Mark, the house she secretly bought. It was like waking up in a nightmare I couldn't wake from. I knew I had to dig deeper, find out exactly how far she'd gone, what she'd done with that money, and how she'd managed to keep it hidden from me this entire time. The first thing I did was get access to our bank accounts and financial records. I needed to see if there were any other suspicious transactions, any signs of where she'd spent the money. It didn't take long. I pulled up the statements and my stomach sank even further. There were multiple withdrawals, large sums, made at different times, all under her name. She'd been siphoning funds for months, maybe longer. The biggest shock was a transfer of $250, $0 that she claimed was for us. but I now knew she'd forged my signature on the withdrawal slip. I realized she'd been planning this for a while, probably before I even suspected anything. While I was going through the financials, I also found a set of emails and texts between and Mark. They'd been planning to move in together, to start a new life, away from me. She'd even sent pictures of herself with Mark in a fancy house, definitely the one she bought with our inheritance. It was all so clear now. She'd been lying to me every day, pretending to be the perfect wife, all the while sneaking around, screwing her boss, and secretly building a new life. I felt a mix of anger and heartbreak. I trusted her with everything, my love, my life, my money, and she'd thrown it all away. I didn't want to just sit there and do nothing. I had to act. The first step was confronting her again, but this time with proof and with a plan. I needed to see how she'd react when she realized I knew everything. So I called her at work one afternoon. I kept my voice steady, as calm as I could manage. I told her I had some questions about her recent behavior, about the money, about Mark. She tried to deny everything, of course, but I hit her with the evidence, the texts, the bank statements, the forged signature. Her face went white. She stammered, then spat out, "You're crazy, you're just jealous, you're overreacting because I won't sleep with you anymore." That was a lie. I knew it, and she knew I knew it. Her whole attitude changed in that moment. The mask of the perfect wife was slipping away, revealing a cold, manipulative woman who'd been lying and cheating for months. She tried to turn it around, saying I was controlling, that I didn't understand her needs, that she was just trying to find herself. But I wasn't buying it anymore. I could see her for what she really was, an unfaithful, dishonest woman who'd betrayed everything we ever built. The emotional blow hit hard. I felt betrayed, yes, but also a deep sense of loss. I'd believed in us. I'd believed in our vows. And now I was left with a hollow feeling, knowing she'd thrown it all away for some affair and a quick buck. I was angry, so angry I could barely breathe, but beneath that there was also a profound sadness. I had loved her and I had trusted her. Now that trust was shattered and I didn't know if I could ever get it back. In the following days I made a decision. I couldn't stay silent. I needed to protect myself, my son, and whatever was left of my dignity. I called a lawyer, started gathering evidence, and prepared for the inevitable legal battle. Had already begun filing for custody, citing all sorts of false reasons to try and kick me out of the house. She was trying to spin it as if I was the one at fault, as if I'd been the unfaithful one. But I knew the truth. The truth was out there and I was going to fight to get it recognized. What's worse is she's now trying to sue me for custody, claiming I'm unfit because I've abused her emotionally. Another lie. She's trying to turn everything around, making herself the victim. But I've got enough evidence to prove her lies. I've got bank records, messages, witness statements from people at her work who saw her sneaking around with Mark. I'm determined to fight back, not just for myself but for my son. I don't want him growing up thinking his mother is a cheat and a thief. Honestly, I don't know how I'm still standing. The betrayal is so deep. I keep asking myself how someone I loved and trusted could do this to me, to our family. But I also know I can't let her win. I have to stay strong for my kid, for myself. I've learned that sometimes the most unexpected betrayals come from those closest to us. And when they do, the only thing you can do is face it head on, even if it tears you apart. The legal process has been a whirlwind. I never thought I'd be sitting across from lawyers trying to piece together a case that proves my wife's deception. Lawyer is a slick woman, smooth talker, full of lies, trying to spin things in her favor. She claims I'm unstable, that I've been emotionally abusive, that I'm trying to control. It's laughable, honestly. I've never raised my voice at her, never laid a finger on her, but suddenly I'm the villain. The custody battle is the worst part. Is painting herself as the victim, claiming I'm unfit because I work long hours, because I'm controlling, and because I've been mentally unstable since I found out the truth. She's hired a shrink, of course, to back her story. The thing is, I have evidence, emails from her boss, the bank statements showing her theft, the forged signature. I've got witnesses from her workplace who saw her sneaking around with Mark. It's a mess, but I know I have a solid case. Meanwhile is trying to kick me out of the house. She's filed for full custody, claiming I'm an unfit father because I supposedly neglect my responsibilities. The irony is, I've been the one working my ass off to provide for us while she's been busy cheating and stealing. She's also trying to get me served with a restraining order, saying I've been harassing her, another lie. All I've done is try to get the truth out, and now I'm the bad guy. It's infuriating. One of the worst moments was when she accused me in court of emotional abuse, claiming I yelled at her once when I found her with Mark. That's a total lie. I was hurt, angry, yes, but I never laid a finger on her. I told the judge that I respected her, that I wanted to be a good father, and that I was only trying to protect my family from her lies. I showed her the proof, screenshots of her texts, bank records, the forged documents, but she's good at manipulation. She's convincing in court, especially with her tears and her fake crying. It's sickening. The money situation has become even messier. Has secretly bought that house with Mark. She's living there now, and I found out she's trying to claim it as her sole property. She's trying to say that the inheritance money was a gift for us. But I know she used that money to buy her own house. I even found receipts and legal documents proving her name is on the deed. It's like she's rewriting history, trying to make me look like the bad guy for asking questions. I've also been digging into her phone and emails, trying to find more dirt. I discovered she's been in contact with a divorce lawyer for weeks, plotting to keep as much of the inheritance and her new house as possible. She's even hired a private investigator to gather dirt on me, which she plans to use as leverage. It's all so calculated. I feel like I'm fighting a war I never signed up for. The emotional toll is huge. I feel betrayed, angry, and exhausted. Every time I think I've gotten a handle on things, another bombshell drops. I keep asking myself how she could do this, how she could lie, cheat, steal, and then turn around and try to destroy me in court. It's like she's trying to erase me from her life completely, but I won't let her. I've got too much on my side, and I'm determined to fight for my rights and for my son. What's crazy is how she's trying to spin everything. She claims I'm the reason she had to cheat, that I was emotionally distant, that I didn't appreciate her. Honestly, I was always there for her. I worked hard so she could have her career and our life, but she took that for granted and ran straight into Mark's arms. Now she's trying to make me look like the bad guy, like I'm the reason everything fell apart. It's infuriating, but I'm holding my ground. I've started to realize that this whole thing is about control. She wanted the money, the house, the life she thought she deserved. And when I started asking questions, she saw me as a threat. So she's fighting dirty, throwing everything she's got, lies, accusations, legal threats. I'm trying to stay calm, but inside I'm boiling. I just want this nightmare to be over and to get some peace again. I keep telling myself that justice will come, that the truth always wins. It has to. The court hearings have become a regular part of my life now. Every time I walk into that courtroom, I feel like I'm stepping into a battlefield. Lawyer is relentless, trying to paint me as the villain, claiming I'm unstable, that I'm dangerous. She's calling witnesses to testify about supposed emotional abuse, trying to sway the judge with carefully crafted lies. I sit there, listening to her spin her web of deception, feeling a mix of frustration and helplessness. Meanwhile, I've been gathering my own evidence, more screenshots, witness statements from friends and colleagues who saw sneaking around with Mark, and copies of the bank documents that prove her theft. I even found some recorded phone calls where she admits to lying about her whereabouts, trying to cover her tracks. I've handed all of this over to my lawyer. It's clear she's trying to manipulate the system, but I'm doing everything I can to stay one step ahead. The most gut-wrenching part is the custody fight. Claims that I'm an unfit father because I work long hours and don't spend enough time with our son, Jake. That's a load of crap. I've always been there for him, from school events to bedtime stories. But she's trying to turn things around, saying I neglect Jake because I'm emotionally distant and preoccupied with my own problems. She's hired her own therapist to back her up, claiming I'm unstable. It's all part of her strategy to keep custody and keep me away from Jake. I remember one hearing where sat there crying fake tears, claiming she's the only one who truly loves Jake and that I'm a bad influence. I wanted to scream. I wanted to tell the judge everything about her affair, the stolen money, the house she bought with Mark, and how she's lying about me. But I stayed silent, knowing that the truth eventually has a way of coming out. I just kept thinking about Jake, about how I need to stay strong for him, no matter what. The money theft is still a huge issue, is trying to claim that the inheritance money was a gift for both of us, even though I have proof it was specifically transferred into her personal account and used to buy her house. She's also trying to freeze our assets, saying I might try to hide or spend the money. But I've been transparent, showing bank statements, deposit slips, everything. Still, she's pushing to have a court-appointed financial investigator look into my accounts, just to keep me on edge. What's maddening is how she's trying to turn the tables, accusing me of being jealous and controlling because I asked questions about the money and her affair. She's painting herself as the victim, claiming I was emotionally abusive during our marriage, that I was distant and cold. That couldn't be further from the truth. I loved her. I did everything I could to keep our family together. But she threw it all away for some affair and a quick buck, and now she's trying to destroy me. Honestly, I've never felt so betrayed in my life. I trusted her with everything, my heart, my money, our future. And she used that trust to stab me in the back. Every day I wake up feeling like I'm fighting a losing battle, but I remind myself that I have to keep going. For Jake, for myself. I've learned that people can surprise you. Sometimes the person you love the most can turn out to be your worst enemy. I keep telling myself that the truth will come out and justice will prevail. It has to. The emotional toll has been brutal. I won't lie, there are nights I lie awake, replaying everything, wondering if I could have done something differently. The pain of betrayal cuts deep. My wife, the woman I trusted with my life, turned out to be someone I barely recognize. Her lies, her manipulation, her outright theft, they've left scars I don't think will ever fully heal. But what's worse is watching her move forward as if everything's fine, as if she's already won. She's now living in that house she bought with Mark, and she's trying to convince the court that I have no right to see Jake. She claims I'm unfit because I neglect my responsibilities, and because I'm angry about her affair. But the truth is, I've been trying to stay calm, to keep my composure. I've been working with my lawyer to build a case that proves she's lying. I've gathered witness statements from friends and family who saw her with Mark, who saw her sneaking around with her boss, who know she's been stealing from us. The worst moment came when she filed a motion to have me kicked out of the house entirely. She claims that I'm a danger to her and Jake because I lost control during a heated argument. That's a complete fabrication. I never laid a hand on her. I never yelled at Jake. All I ever wanted was to protect my family and get the truth out. Yet she's trying to turn it around, making it seem like I'm the villain. It's infuriating. I see her in court with her fake crying and her manipulative words, and I realize how skilled she is at playing the victim. The financial mess keeps getting worse. She's trying to hide her assets, claiming the house she bought with Mark was a gift from her parents or some kind of inheritance she received secretly. She's also trying to claim that the money I was jointly used, even though I have proof it was forged and used solely for her benefit. I've hired a forensic accountant to dig into her finances, and they're uncovering more lies every day. I'm just waiting for the day she slips up. And then there's the custody situation. She's trying everything to keep me away from Jake. She claims I'm unstable because I got angry during a recent court hearing when she accused me of emotional abuse. I told her then that I do whatever it takes to be a good father, but she's twisting that into evidence of my supposed violence. I just want to be there for my son. I want him to know the truth, that his father loves him and only wants what's best. I've learned a lot through this nightmare. I've learned that people are capable of incredible betrayal, that trust can be shattered in a second. I've also learned that sometimes the only way to fight back is with facts, patience, and relentless determination. I never imagined I'd be in a legal war over my own marriage, over my family, but here I am. I keep telling myself that if I stay true to the truth, it will come out. I have to believe that, or I'll never make it through this. Most of all, I've realized how fragile life is, how quickly everything can change. One moment you're happily married and the next, you're fighting to keep what's left of your dignity and your relationship with your child. I don't know what the future holds, but I do know I won't give up. I have to keep fighting for Jake, for myself, and to restore some shred of justice in this chaos. It's the hardest thing I've ever done, but I know I can't let her win. I won't. Now, as I sit here reflecting on everything that's happened, I realize just how much my life has been turned upside down. The betrayal, the lies, the stolen money, the court battles, all of it has taken a toll on me emotionally, mentally, and physically. But through all of this, I've learned one thing. The truth has a way of surfacing, no matter how deeply it's buried beneath lies and deception. This attempt to erase me from her life and from Jake's has only made me more determined. I've fought hard to gather the evidence, to stand my ground in court, and to prove that I'm still the man who loves his son unconditionally. It's been a long, exhausting process, but I refuse to give her the satisfaction of winning this battle completely. I want my son to know that his father never gave up, that I did everything I could to protect him from the chaos her lies created. Looking back, I see how naive I was to trust blindly. I see how her charm, her beauty, and her bitchy attitude masked a darker side that I never wanted to admit existed. But I also see the importance of standing up for myself, of fighting for what's right, even when it feels like the entire world is against you. I've learned that sometimes the most unexpected betrayals come from those closest to us, and the only way to survive is to face them head-on with honesty and resilience. As I move forward, I know there are still battles ahead. The legal process isn't over, and I may never fully understand why I did what she did. But I've come to accept that I can't change the past. I can only control how I respond to it. And right now, that means fighting for my rights, protecting my son, and trying to rebuild what's left of my shattered life. If there's one thing I want anyone reading this to take away, it's this. No matter how deep the betrayal, no matter how dark the betrayal feels, don't lose faith in the truth. Keep fighting, stay honest, and never let someone else's lies define you. Because at the end of the day, integrity and perseverance are what truly matter. And even in the worst circumstances, they can lead you back to a better, more honest life.